Hey fellas, I'm about three-quarters of the way done home with my other vlog, like I said, and also want to do the remaining ones. If I keep going at current pace, I should be able to have the scripts done by tomorrow and have those last couple ones posted by early April. So let's talk about uh, my early impressions on Marvel's Moon Knight based on the first episode, The Goldfish Problem. So, oh, this series and this episode mostly centers around a man named Mark Spector, played by Oscar Isaac, who is often a masquerades as like a museum gift shop worker named Stephen Grant, who has problems sleeping, which is actually kind of relatable in this day and age. And he is also discovers like an artifact connected to like the a deity Khonshu, who is voiced by a award nominee F. Abraham in this series, as well as he must not only come to grips with his personalities, but also elude an enigmatic cult leader played by Ethan Hawke in order to undergo the identity Moon Knight. Couple things going forward. Number one, I will once again openly admit that I have not read the comic of this, but much like the other works in this fictional universe, I can definitely do my best to talk about this on its own merit from the standpoint of the writing, the acting, the production, how it fits in the larger universe, and second, I will also not be getting into the whole discourse about the procedural lack of accuracy, he, he in the Rivals of DC. In my experience, there's a degree of accuracy that people will recognize, or as a bit of artistic license they will accept, along as like the everything else about the work is good. And in this case, this first episode, at the very least, plays less like a superhero story and more like a psychological horror in many respects. Like how it further compounds my. I was comparing less to Oscar being like his take on Batman and more like if the Machinist were this kind of story. I mean, another role that Bale played. I mean, since especially with that chase where he's trying to elude mercenaries. He's you see a bit more than they did in the previews. Like he's doing it in a cupcake truck while listening to George Michael, which definitely pretty crazy. I mean, there are some dark scenes, but not quite as much such as like Falcon and Winter Soldier. I have, even though it's also written by one of the same people that worked on that, and I have no take on like the blood being digitally removed in that one. And even though this pilot may not quite be the breath of fresh air that I have Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision, and it is still a unique experience that I will definitely be willing to talk about more or as the other episodes drop through April, as well as the last one being early May. Hey, so. But based on this first episode, like I would give this a 4 out of 5, like a 3 out of 4 or so. And I once again and openly admit I don't really care what the PTC thinks at all. I mean, I hardly think a handful of of shows with the 17 up crowd is going to quote unquote tarnish their crown when they've got quite literally hundreds, if not thousands, of of shows and movies meant for ones below that on their platform. Oh, I'm still gonna stay out of Florida for now. I mean, since anyway, tomorrow will be the last day of this month and the last of this quarter, so I definitely have something in mind for then, as well as like my April Fool's joke about God about worked out. So wait and see what it is, though, and that'll be all for now. Take care, everyone.